Blunt Cuts is a podcast fueled by creativity, curiosity, and empowerment. We cut through the daily mess of life. This is unfiltered honesty. Park your passive at the door. This is Blunt Cuts. Welcome to Blunt Cuts. I'm CJ, and please welcome to the studio Katrine Schroeder, Creative Director and Social Media Director for Drink Love Life. It's a seltzer for your love life. Welcome, lady.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much for having me, CJ. I'm absolutely delighted to be here.
It is so good to have you. And we met via DM because I was like, I need to know more. I need to know more of the story of this amazing product and the women behind it. So I'm so excited to have you here today. So tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of how things got started. But first and foremost, you, and then we'll kind of get into the amazing drink that is Love Life, which this is a seltzer, bubbly, for your lady parts. So yes. Bubbles in all the right places. So super excited, kind of a sexually enhancing bubbly soda water. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So it's been a bit of a wild ride so far, as the beginning of any startup usually is. I'm a self-employed graphic designer and artist, soon to be based in Florence. Right now, I'm quarantining on the side of a mountain with my family, so that's quite interesting. And I have been guiding the branding and voice of Love Life since the beginning. So basically, if you see or read something related to Love Life, I most likely created it or had a hand in it. In a way, I almost feel like the personality behind it is a very sassy and naughty extension of myself at this point. My parents, Carl and Kristen, are actually the founders of Love Life. And it's kind of funny to think how I used to get into all sorts of trouble telling naughty jokes growing up.
Yeah, how do you create a sexually enhancing beverage with your parents? Like, that is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, at first there was definitely like, I don't say like a learning curve, but like at first there were a few like hurdles that we had to get over. It was just like so funny sitting in some of the meetings initially, because like I never would have imagined that this would be my life right now. Like if you had told me this like 7 years ago or something.
This sounds like a great movie.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Yeah, especially since like growing up, my dad kind of like skirted the whole birds and the bees conversation. So I'm like, oh, we gonna have it now. Yeah. So anyways, it's so funny about all that. Now they're like literally paying me to like make these memes and tell these jokes and like have this personality. So I'm like, my, how have the tides changed? But it's been actually like really great. And I feel like we've all grown a lot from this experience. It's been really beautiful. And we actually come from a long lineage of entrepreneurs that started several generations back. After my parents sold their initial business, they began doing some soul searching to figure out what to do with their lives. When my dad remembered a beverage his former company had carried containing amino acids that had some unintended health benefits to it, if you will.
Great. Love
it. And like thinking back on that, he got really curious and he began researching amino acids more. And he realized there's a huge, huge untapped market for them, especially in the sexual health industry. Because basically, if you don't have a penis, like you've been shit out of luck in this area.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, what's the deal? So that's where Love Life comes in.
But yeah, no, I absolutely love it. I mean, I think any product that's willing to just get out there and be super bold and stand up and take space, where you should be. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see. And I love following all of your social channels. So you're doing a great job. And I see a lot of similarities between kind of our naughty side on our Blunt Guts Instagram and Love Life. So we're kindred spirits in that way, in in a lot of ways. So I wanted to kind of unpack a little bit more about like what as a woman, like how do you feel this product is making a change in the right direction? You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but I'd love to unpack that.
Well, I feel the whole thing is kind of like taboo. Like we walk this weird line, I guess, where it's like be sexy, but also don't be like too sexy and like all these things. And so we're just kind of coming in and being like, hey.
We're here. No, I couldn't agree more. I think it's really challenging, in this space to speak up and like hold your sexuality. And for me, I'm a very open person, so that hasn't been like a personal struggle that I've had. But I've sat with so many women that are like, how can you be so like bold and out there, but also be a mom? Like, oh, you have kids, but you're like showing yourself in a sexual way, or you're advocating for. And to me, like, there's nothing more sexual and like amazing than motherhood. Like, it's just you've created a human. Like, that is a pretty magical thing that came out of love and in sexuality and expression and passion. And that is life. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love anything that can kind of highlight those things in our life. And I think for women especially, it's challenging and difficult. I know my mom was very modest. I grew up, she was very modest and I wasn't. So I was kind of like, wait, why do I have to put clothes on right now? Like, so just, and my husband's very modest. So it's funny. My daughter's a little bit of a mix of us. So we'll see how that ends up shaping in her life. But just, yeah, I think that idea of women in having the just women, it's okay. Like, if you need permission, not that I'm here to give you permission, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, love yourself and express yourself the way you want. And you guys are
Yes.
doing that with the
Yes.
brand, and you don't see that a lot in branding. So,
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that, we come across that way to you and everything. So,
oh, it's great. I love your excitement and enthusiasm. So, let's talk about it. I tried it. I have it. I have some left, believe it or not. It's amazing. First of all, like, it's super delicious. I thought that it was kind of like a combo of a little bit of a energy drink, little taste to it,
mm-hmm.
but definitely like really lightly flavored, not overpowering. Had it in a cocktail. I think that's allowed.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, so like I need the deets. What did you mix it with?
So I have frozen berries, which I just kind of always have because I'm a smoothie person. So vodka, frozen berries, and the Love Life. And it was absolutely delicious. And I was like, okay, I'm a big like placebo effect kind of person. So I'm like, I think I feel it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I think I feel it. So I'm totally in when I try something because I like, want to be. But after about like 45 minutes, I definitely felt it. And I was like, all right. And my husband, jokingly, he's like, are you ready? Is it ready? Is it time? It's time. And, it's like it's the kitchen timer or something. I don't know. It was just a really funny, like, interaction. We're not we're not the most spontaneous. So it fit well in our life where it's like, okay, go mow the lawn, and in about 40 minutes after you're done showering, like, we'll be cut, like, I'm just so methodic.
Oh my God, I love it.
Like,
I love
I'm
it.
free expression, like love, love, sex, love,
Yeah.
those moments, but it's just, okay, on a time frame, and then I have other things to do, so whatever.
Yeah.
But I definitely noticed like some increased heat like in my body, and I'm kind of a cold person in general. Like, I'm tall, so my hands and feet are always cold. So anyway, increased blood flow, like, always good. I think bedroom will leave the actual act. I don't need to get all into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely felt some differences. So I was excited to hear that, like, oh my gosh, a bubbly soda can make a difference. But the biggest thing is my feet were warm all night long. I don't know. Apparently I needed some amino acids in my life because my feet stayed warm all night long, which is it's not a thing. So
Wow.
there you go. I don't know. That was a true miracle in my life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You had like the peak response of like what we would hope any customer would. 'Cause like,
Apparently. So I'm your
so
lab rat. I'm happy to continue to, partake. But it was great. So I mean, I don't know. I loved it. And I love that idea of like taking charge of your pleasure. And hey, if there's a simple little thing like, oh, okay, this drink, it's natural. There's nothing in it that's going to hurt me. Like I can just add this and like have a little more fun. Like that's great.
yes, yes.
I'm not
That,
super exploratory with like, all the other equipment and different things. Like, yeah, sex toys a little
yes.
bit, but not in this capacity of like extreme, crazy, BDSM things. I just not my culture, not my
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
Can't quite
yeah.
get there, but I love like that this is so easy and such a great entry point. So thanks.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. Welcome back to Blunt Cuts. Let's keep talking.
Can we just dive into the science for
Yeah.
a second? Yeah. So like the not so sexy science behind it is
science is way listening. Sexy, by the way.
Okay.
Science is always sexy.
Okay,
I'm married to like a scientist, so
okay, so the super sexy science behind it. Okay, I like this. For listeners who haven't heard about this yet, is the amino acids in our beverage Love Life support and optimize your body's natural nitric oxide production, which in turn promotes blood flow to all the right places. Winkety wink wink.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah,
this whole it was definitely increased blood flow. But hey, which was bonus.
And so basically it's just like giving your body tools to optimize itself, and so there's not going to be like any weird side effects or anything. And so like if you feel the effects, great, especially in your case where you had a peak response. And then if you have some and you don't, it just means that your nitric oxide production's already popping. So it's like, oh, okay, whatever, I just had a fun flirty drink, like whatever.
No, then right? Like I don't know. So for me, that's one of those things that like sometimes I orgasm, sometimes I don't. Like that's just life. I don't know. So I think that's what I call sex, and I don't think that's unusual for most people. And I've been with my partner for over 20 years, so it's just at the point where whatever. We are each other's someone, and sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and it's kind of how it's been. So it's fun. It's fun to try something new, and explore a little bit, and just, rebirth a little bit of fun. And I think that's what, I love that you're bringing to the world is a little bit more fun.
Oh.
Sexy fun. So no, I love bubbly things in general, like bubbly waters, all the brands. I don't really discriminate. I drink them all way too quickly, and they leave my refrigerator way too quickly. So
yes.
I want to talk a little bit with you about lessons you've learned through this process. As a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a daughter, working with parents in a sexual brand, what are those learning lessons you've picked up along the way?
Well, okay, so the biggest lesson or like observation I've had just from like doing the social media on the branding and like being on that side of things, the thing that jumped out the most to me is just how much sexuality is censored within our culture. While totally. Violence in many ways is glorified and normalized, you would think it would be the other way around. As you would hope, in reality, the people who you love in your life are enjoying and experiencing sex, not violence. And it's also been really eye-opening learning just about how much the algorithm serves to reinforce these ideologies, and the ideologies the people who created it rather than the people who are using it. And I kind of learned all of this because it was so tricky trying to figure out content that would even reach people.
So what do you mean by that? Like the algorithms of the social platforms are kind of masking your ability to put out the info you want?
Yeah. Like sexual content in general is just super, super drowned out on social media, like very intentionally. And I had no idea that was the case until I started diving into this whole thing, and it was like, whoa, it's crazy.
Yeah, I did a, like, hilarious how my life comes full circle. But in the early 2000s, I did an independent research study where I lived in Paris, and I was actually working in fashion at the time, but I was also in college. So I did a study analyzing Parisian culture versus American culture in beauty, fashion, and entertainment advertising, specifically focused on like sexuality, women, body nudity, and then the idea of violence. So it's so funny because, like, absolutely 100%, we will glorify all around here in the US to our young children, video games or different things with guns, or even showing imagery on the news. Like, it's not uncommon to show weapons or different things like that. But rarely, in American culture, do you see bodies? Do you see nipples? Do you
Mhm.
see women in a way that's very natural? And in like a Parisian, peanut butter commercial, the reef nipples, like it's just,
Yeah.
it's not seen as a taboo. And American culture definitely has that spin
Yeah.
of like violence is okay and sex isn't. And yeah, I've always been fascinated. But that whole study, I kind of unpacked what you're exactly saying, is that idea of where and how do those intersections work, and why are we censored in the US, specifically around sexuality and sexual imagery, and that voice, because it can be a very healthy space. And for a lot of people, it is a very healthy expression, and it's so natural. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
everyone is experiencing this. I mean, I definitely don't, and we don't talk that much to our like friends about sex or different things, but that is just such a normal thing. And what's when I was like living in Paris, everybody's talking about everything. I'm like, wow, this is just so different. Like, those are not the same conversations that like I even have with girlfriends in college. Like, so it's just different living with people from other cultures, learning like all of those different things. So I had a little bit of a frontline perspective on that. Yeah, it's different. So do you notice, like, in Italy, are you marketing the brand there, or is it just kind of in the US?
No, at the moment it's just in the US. We're
Okay.
working on this market first, but hopefully someday we'll
Yeah,
be
no, I just kind of wondered.
global.
Wondered if you had a different perspective, of people there. It's always fascinating.
Yeah, well, so last fall, actually, I backpacked through Europe for 4 months by myself. And I know,
We could do a
kind of
whole
crazy.
podcast on that. I want to know more.
I know. Before I decided to move to Italy, or that's kind of like what led me to moving to Italy. But something that I heard frequently from Europeans once they found out I was American, they were just like, "Oh, like everything's so hyper sexualized, like in your culture," and it was like a really interesting observation to hear. And I've been thinking a lot about that, and I think it kind of gets back to that whole like sex being kind of taboo or like repressed in American society, and so it kind of like comes out sideways
Yeah, it's
almost.
hard. It's hard to look at like that
Yeah,
spectrum, I think, from the outside, and I'm not an outsider, so I know from the inside, I see like, hey, it's porn. Like, if you put a
yeah,
picture up, nudity, it's porn. And it's like, no, like there's like a line, like
yeah,
there's a line of, sex work and, work for pay and imagery for pay or video for, like there, yes, that is an industry and a space, but there is a space for expression, of loving yourself and your body and your, femininity or your sexual expression, without having to be, for pay or sex work or pornography.
yeah.
Like, there's a
Well,
space.
this kind of gets into like another thing that I've learned through working on this whole thing, that I feel like it should be an obvious thing, but it seriously didn't occur to me until I started working on Love Life. And that's our bodies aren't like inherently sexual; they're just like sexualized. And so it's
Hmm.
like a picture of like a woman's body doesn't have to automatically be sexy or whatever. I don't know if I'm articulating this very well, but I don't know. It's been something I've been thinking about a lot since starting this job, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely opened your eyes to how the world and culture, looks. And I think censoring that information, there's a lot of censorship right now. And I think that we're in the world where we're feeling that in a lot of different ways. I think we have to
Mm.
continually ask ourselves, like, where do I get my content out, and how do I get it out if it's being censored here? Is that the right place or space? How do we build places and spaces so that we see the media we want to, and I know that's one of our missions here at Matriarch Digital Media, is to like be that space and place for women to see media that they're craving and needing and not seeing, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
well, I'm so thankful. Thank you for being here. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us and teaching us a little bit about the sexy science of bubbles in all the right places.
Yeah, seriously, thank you so much for
Where
like
can
having me on.
where
Oh,
can everyone find you?
okay. So here's the thing is we're mainly an e-commerce brand. And so this is actually going to get into the censorship a little bit. So we're available on Amazon, but Amazon suppresses like sex related items. And so to actually find us on Amazon, you have to Google Love Life Sparkling Romance Amazon in order to get the page. Yeah, it's wild.
Girl, you got a journey.
I know. And then
How did I
we're
find you? I was
I
clearly
don't
Google.
know. And then we're also available on our parent company's website right now, moonlightbeverage.com. And then by the end of the month, we will launch an independent Love Life website, and the URL for that will be drinklovelife.com. And worst case scenario, you can just go like hop on Instagram and find us.
Yeah, great way to do your
Yeah.
Instagramming. I think that's definitely where I found you. So keep up the amazing work, and yeah, go women and bubbles in all the right places. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And yeah, let's continue the conversation on Instagram. You can find us at Blunt Cuts Podcast. Blunt Cuts is a production of Matriarch Digital Media. Executive producer Twyla Dang. Edited by Beth K. Gibbs. Production assistant Mia Register. You can find more great podcasts from Matriarch Digital Media at matriarchdm.com.